including D Wade. Ocho, who do you believe is LeBron James' best partner?
I mean, it could be Kyrie, it could be D Wade, it could be Luka. Obviously, listen, goddamn LeBron is like a fucking late God dog it, man. Sorry, my bad. LeBron is a Lego piece, you could plug him anywhere and he gonna fit.
Mm-hmm.
You can plug him anywhere, you can put it with anybody, and it's gonna fit because LeBron is that he's just that great. LeBron is really that great where he can adjust his game depending on who he's playing with.
Yeah.
He can play off the ball. He can dominate the ball. He can bring the ball up. He can play point. He can do everything. So I understand what he's saying, but man, it's almost like diminishing LeBron's greatness in saying that look at it doesn't matter who he's playing with. He can adjust to the people that he's playing with. It doesn't matter, and he showed that. He did it with Kyrie. He did it with D Wade. He won. He's gonna win with Luka. Obviously, there's some more pieces that need to be added to that puzzle before they get to that point to where they're back to their winning ways. But there's only so much time. Time is ticking, over there, which is why I like my idea of Embiid. We ain't got nothing to lose because you need a big.
But here's the thing: you get Embiid, and then you got to give him the rock. Luka needs the rock. Luka's going to have the ball more because Luka, as I said last night, Luka is better on the ball than he is off the ball. LeBron James needs the ball, but LeBron can play off the ball. You're going to see a lot of lobs. You see LeBron coming through like Batman with those lobs. You see LeBron getting out on the floor. He has somebody that he can trust wholeheartedly to run the offense and not ever have to come get the ball and say, I got it from here. Luka can do that.
Yeah, because he can create his own shot too, huh?
Luka can create. He's the best. What Luka can do as opposed to what Luka can handle the ball, run the offense, get his own shot, get everybody else involved, and give you 40, 15, and 12.
Because he's efficient. But think about this. I'm going to go back to the Embiid thing one more time. Think about Luka being able to run the offense. Think about LeBron. Think about the offense, the way the offense is being run. Think about the spacing that is created because of what they have offensively and what that would do for Embiid.
Right.
Not very many double teams.
Right.
Allowing you to sit in the paint, to do what you do best. And if, based on rotation, if you have to go mid-range or go three, you could do that. Then he doesn't have to do much running outside of going up and down in transition and playing defense.
Well, see, you got to be careful, Ocho, because two things can be true. Luka might be the better player individually, but that don't mean that he's the best player with LeBron as a duo.
Right.
Because you take one person that can sing over here, another person that can sing over there, and bring them together, and you might not get that beautiful. You might not get Tina Marie and Rick James. You might not get Stephanie Mills and Teddy Pendergrass. You see what I'm saying, Ocho? You might not get Barry White and Lisa Stanfield. Now, Lisa Stanfield's not the best singer ever. Barry is Barry. But when you put them together, been around the world and y'all know what I'm talking about.
As good as LeBron and Luka are, at least you're going to get Peebo Bryson and Roberto Flack. Come on now. You're going to get that just because of who they are. And based on the resume and the great ones that LeBron has played with, regardless of who's better and who's that, they're still going to win because the duo, especially when you put them together, you know what you're getting.
We only got 4 games. Let's hold off before we say Luka and LeBron is the best. All the other duos, he won 2 championships with D Wade. He won a championship with Kyrie. He won a championship with AD. Let's wait more than a game or 4 games before we decide. Okay, we good. Oh, Snoop says Luka a Crip. Look at what he posted on IG, Ocho. Luka.
Hey, who made that?
Snoop.
Who made that?
As a matter of fact, rest in peace, Roberta Flack just passed this morning. She was 88 years of age. So, Killing Me Softly is one of her songs, remade it, I'll Be Sure.
What you know about that?
Once upon a time, Ocho, once upon a time.
Yeah,
Ocho, check this out. If last year's theme for the Dallas Cowboys was All In, than the leader. Overall vibe was really poor from the start. Just didn't seem to be a lot of energy or life vibe tonight from our guys. Ocho, a 50, down by as many as 50. You end up losing by 32, 142 to 110. Chicago scored 39 in the first quarter, 36. So they had 75 at the half. They had 115 through 3 quarters, and then they cruised home with 27 points in the fourth. So 142 to 110. Paul George had 19. Yabusele had 0 points. Maxey had 13. Oubre had 19. Yeah, that was bad.
I'm gonna blame it on you though, Unc.
What that?
I'm gonna blame it on you. The voodoo you put on them last night. The voodoo you listen. I spoke highly of the Sixers, in trying to find a solution for the problem that is Embiid in this ailing knee. But you went in on them, and the fact that you went on them the way you did is the reason why they played the way they played tonight, and that's why the result is what it was. That's why they were trailing by 50 points. I think if you see, the tongue is very powerful. This is what you have to understand. The tongue is very, very powerful. So anytime you say anything in a negative manner about a sports team in its entirety, that team itself doesn't play well, and that's why the Sixers looked the way they did.
Did they hear me? Did they know I said that last night?
They did, because every last player that plays for the Sixers saw Nightcap last night, because 2 of them reached out to me.
I think the thing is, Ocho, look, I'm shutting Embiid down. They're not going anywhere this year, and all you doing is delaying the inevitable, which Joel Embiid is probably going to have surgery, and he's going to have to need time to recover. Why not speed the process up? Why not have him have the surgery? Now he can start the recovery sooner, as opposed to have him hobbling, mess up something worse than what it is, or mess up something on the other side, have another injury that you'll have to address. I'm shutting him down. We're not going anywhere. Ocho, they've played 57 games. They've got 25 games to go. Unless they plan on going 25-0, they're not making the playoffs.
Right.
And 45 and 37 might not make the playoffs. So with that being said, it's best to shut him down, chalk this up today. They're going to have to make some tough decisions. They got Paul George, who has another basically, he's going to pick up that 4th-year option. So he got 3 years left. Joel Embiid got 4 years left at probably $240 million.
Yeah.
Those contracts, you're probably stuck for a minute. Because if your team, you train for Joel Embiid with those issues, he's going to miss 450 games since his career started. He's going to miss more games than he's actually played and pick up the contract at about $240 million.
I have a question.
Stephen A. and I was discussing it. Stephen A. said, where Paul George really didn't want to leave Clippers. He didn't want to be in Philly. There's no crying on a yacht. Paul George got 4 years over $200 million. No, I'm not trying to hear that.
Whoa. Come on now. You think you done snuck that one in there. You thought I wasn't going to hear that now. There's no what?
Ain't no crying on the yacht.
That, man. It's no crying. Where's my goddamn pen and pad? Boy, I ain't never heard that one. But hold on, let me write that down. Now, it's right here. Yeah, I got my pen and pad right here. It's no crying on the yacht. I'd be sure to use that in my next argument.
So with that being said, I don't look, Maxey right now, you got a guy, you're going to probably try to move one of them, Paul George or Joel Embiid.
I know which one to go. I know which one needs to go. I'm not saying he needs to go, but based on, listen, things aren't working out, obviously, in Philly. I know where he can go because there's a team in the NBA that needs a big right now. And I know an environment where he can go to and he can excel. Now, even with the problems that he's having, if he's able to be traded, let's say in the offseason, while he's rehabbing, I know a great place he can go.
Where?
Right down there in LA.
You about to pay Luka. You about to pay Luka. Now Luka probably signed a 2-year deal. That way he can come back to the table and get the max in 2 years.
Yes.
So he's not going to Titus, lay down. He's not going to sign anything really, really long, like no 4 or 5 year deal. And I think everybody understands that, but not worth it. I mean, you
What?
traded Anthony Davis, who had an injury history prior to the last 2 years. Why would you take a guy with an absolute? If you think Anthony Davis has missed games, it ain't even close to what Joel Embiid. I mean, compared to Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis is AC Green.
Right.
If you don't know AC Green, he played like 1,100 games straight.
Yeah, that's not nice. That's not nice. That's not nice.
No, I'm just being. I mean, the chat know I'm telling the truth, and that's what it is.
Yeah,
So you're gonna have to roll the dice. You're gonna have to roll the dice on Joel Embiid. You're gonna have to believe.
They got to pay CeeLo. But they're gonna have to. Listen, you take a chance. You take a chance understanding what you do get when he is on the court and when he's healthy or when he's semi-healthy.
When is that?
You know, they have the resources, they have the technology. You know, allow them to listen. If Philly does what they need to do and do right by Embiid, allow him to sit out. All season comes, they trade in LA. He continues to rehab. Sees the best doctors that they have in LA for his knee. Getting back right. LeBron has the right people that I'm sure he can help and appoint to Embiid so he can get back to where he needs to, where he can be the dominant center that he is. I think it would be a great look for the Lakers. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, despite his injury history.
You can't say that, Ocho, despite. That's the issue.
Hey,
and that's like you said, man, this is a great car. Despite it not cranking once a week, it's a pretty good car. That's the issue.
But I know what happened when I get that Joker cranked up. I know.
But what happens when you got to be somewhere and it doesn't crank, like the playoffs? Remember last year how he looked? And that's the thing, Ocho. You talk about a guy that's going to miss 450 games. He would have missed more games than he played. I don't know. I mean, look, somebody's going to probably roll the dice, but the Sixers are going to have to the Sixers are going to have to like basically pay somebody with draft picks to take them off their hands. That's a lot of money over the next 4 years, Ocho, with his history.
It's a lot of money, right?
Yes.
This is what I'm trying to do. I see the problem, huh? I see the problem. Everybody talks about the problem. I'm just the one trying to find a solution. The solution that I just came up with, I mean, it sounds right to me. It's a chance that a team is going to have to take. They're going to have to. You're going to have to take it. What you going to do? What you going to do?
Look,
or we're going to keep talking and circling back to the same conversation every single year. Somebody has to take a chance on him. And I have a feeling. I don't know why. I have a feeling and I have an inclination that if he gets outside of the atmosphere in Philly, something's going to be different. I don't know what it may be. He just might need to change the scenery. I don't know.
Yeah. Just like when Greg Oden got outside of Portland. His knees were bad. It didn't matter where you go. Unless he goes to the moon where that has no gravitational pull, it's gonna be an issue. The problem is Daryl Morey gave him a contract when he didn't have to. He extended him when he didn't have to. Think about it, Ocho. He had 2 years left. The man limped into the playoffs. He was limping. And instead of requiring him to take time off and getting the knee fixed, they let him go to the Olympics. He came back from the Olympics. He was in worse shape than he was then when he left. So now I'm paying you. Unless the the USOC, the men's basketball team was paying, Joel Embiid would not have played in that game because his obligation is to the 76ers organization because that's who's paying your salary.
Mm-hmm.
So this notion that, and I understand Joel Embiid because America has done so much for he and his family and has given him generational wealth for as long as his kids. Yes, sir. But no, Ocho, they saw him injured last year. At some point in time, I've got to put my foot down. You make the best decision for your kids. Even though they think they know best, no, I'm going to make this decision. The 76ers should have made the decision. Unfortunately, Joel Embiid, we're not going to be able to allow you to play. Because what have they got in them, Ocho? This year is gone. This year is wasted, gone. They ain't getting this back. And guess what next year, Ocho? He'll be a year older with another surgery on that knee.
Listen, I tried. I just thought I thought about the best scenario. Obviously, the chat doesn't like it. You don't like it. Probably other people that are NBA advocates and enthusiasts of the game of basketball, they probably don't like it either. But I just know, from my knowledge of watching Embiid play, when he's on the court, I know what you get. I remember I was courtside. Remember I was courtside for the one
Yes.
Philly game I went to. Do you remember
Yes.
what he scored?
Yes.
70 ball.
Hmm.
I